what I have is like arrows here for you to ID these things. So we can be as slow or as fast as you want to go. So some of them are, old stuff and some are new stuff. So anybody know what, let's see, what the, this looking, this is.
Successional lamina. Boom, 500 volts.
Nope, sorry.
What is?
Calm down, Patrick.
What's this area? What's this thing? Yep.
What is that thing?
What's this? Yeah, vestibular. Oh, you want me to go through
Dying
the
laughing.
successional
I
lamina,
wish I could have edited it.
dental papilla. I didn't ask, but this is the enamel organ. This is vestibular lamina. Here's some bone here. This is ectomesenchyme. This is oral ectoderm. Remember?
Isn't the dental follicle the same thing as the dental sac?
Yes.
And that's not the dental papilla. It's different, it's around.
Well, yeah. Let's see. What did I?
Oh, the pillow's different from the.
The sac is surrounding everything. It's kind of not very
Prominent.
Yeah, it's just, sometimes you can see it more like with some swirls of tissue around. So around this would be the dental sac or dental follicle, dental papilla, enamel organ, successional lamina. Remember all that?
Oh, yeah.
That was like from the first lecture ever.
A long time ago.
Alrighty, so what stage is this?
Late bell. Early bell.
We had,
Hey Jade,
So-
you're in the video.
you're sticking with the early bell? Who's for early bell? Who's for late bell? Who doesn't care? What is the distinguishing feature of late bell?
Mineralization.
Yes, you're gonna see some enamel, you're gonna see some dentin. Remember? So this is early bell. But we do have the shape of the crown starting, so you know that we're gonna get some kind of molar here. Okay. Okay, what stage is this? Yeah, obviously this is late bell. And what I have the arrow on is right here. What is this right here? So are they cells?
Meloblasts.
They are cells. What cells? Yes, they are. Oops. Let's go back. So these are ameloblasts, right? So what would this area be?
Enamel.
Yes.
Boom, 500.
Is this anything?
That's not exciting. Let's be real.
Yeah. It's an artifact.
That's just an artifact.
Exactly, it's an artifact, yes. Because this is what?
We tagged off.
This is all dentin or odontoblasts are in here. Okay. Which is the predentin, the light or the dark?
The light.
Right. So mantle dentin, where would mantle dentin be?
Next to the artifact.
Yes, very good. Yes, next to the artifact, it's gonna be up here. What's characteristic about mantle dentin? What kind of little squiggly things are in there?
Von corpse fibers.
So what I did was I kind of color coded that so you could tell. Okay, so, here's another one where again, you could just look at, some of these layers and try to ID them. What would be, what's this area right here, number 1? Yeah, that's the outer enamel epithelium, right here. Because remember, our inner enamel epithelium is our ameloblasts. That develops into the ameloblasts, remember. So then we have a little enamel, a little dentin. This would be our odontoblast. This is dental papilla. Here's the same thing here for ameloblasts. You can see this is later because that's really calcifying and it all cracks when you section it.
have a breakdown of the 1 through 6 and where they are? Or
I don't remember if I did or not, but, what I'm asking you now is what's important. So if you'll remember that. I don't know if I added, I don't think I, sometimes at the bottom of the slide, I'll put the numbers down. I don't know if I did that. But if you have a question, just email me or text me or whatever. Okay, what's this down here? What if it were, we really hadn't started Hertwig's epithelial root sheath, and it's just where the inner and outer enamel epithelium come together, and they stop right there, and then they're gonna grow the hers? Yes, cervical loop. So it's first cervical loop, and then we grow our Hertwig's epithelial root sheath. Okay, so what did I want you to know here? Oh, this was just another slide that was a high magnification that shows hers is made up of what 2 layers of the enamel organ? Inner and outer, right. And what are these little cells right in here?
Stellate.
Right here, right. Right? What you're looking at, this here is the dental papilla. Exactly. That's a good clue. And here again, here's, so what you want to be able to make sure you know the difference between the outer part where, you know, your dental sac and follicle is versus dental papilla, because there are different structures that you can ID, and you need to know which side is which. So usually hers is kind of curving inward, remember? Form that epithelial diaphragm later. So you can kind of tell that this is dental sac here. And these would be some ameloblasts finishing up here. Here's some this is the dental papilla. Dental papilla, remember, they're going to have lots of blood vessels and lots of, it's just basically loose connective tissue in here. Okay. What did I want on this? I think, these. This is something you need to know. You know what those are? Yes, ERM. Remember the different, this area, what is this area of the tooth? Right, this is the periodontal ligament. So what are the little structures that could be in the periodontal ligament?
Sharpie's fibers.
Yeah, but what are like things like this? Yes, there's 2 structures that you can see in here. You could see the epithelial rest of Melissae, or you could see cementicles. Remember, because the little cementoblasts are forming out here, the cementum. Remember, as the periodontal ligament develops, we have fibroblasts, we have cementoblasts, we have all kinds of we have odontoblasts. So, not odontoblasts, osteoblasts. So here we're making cementum, so those little cementoblasts could make little swirls of cementum in here. So they're going to look different. They're going to be little calcified, swirly things, rather than actual cells where you can see cells and nuclei in them. That's how you can tell the difference between them. Okay. Oh, remember this? Fusion, tooth fusion, when 2 teeth, you will actually have 2 fused crowns and roots. So if you were just to see a tooth, we have actually 2 tooth buds in tooth fusion, whereas in gemination, Gemini means twins.
Or something that was up for
Yay, twins. And so if you looked at this tooth, could you tell if this was germination or fusion? No, because you need to have an x-ray and you gotta see the root there. Because it just, bifurcates in gemination, okay? So we actually have one tooth bud that, starts dividing, kind of like conjoined twins. Remember conjoined twins? Oh, what is this?
Mesiodens.
Good. See, it's all about the terminology. If you remember those words.
Is dens and dente the same thing as mesiodens or digit?
Well, dens and dente is actually where a tooth is actually forming kind of from another tooth, almost like a gemination. But a mesiodens is an actual separate supernumerary tooth that's in the midline,
Okay.
hence mesio, referring to midline. So the mesiodens is a type of supernumerary tooth that just happens to be in the midline, so they give it another name, just to make everything harder. Okay, I like this slide. Can you tell which side is which if this weren't labeled?
Yep.
Yes.
Ameloblasts are so distinct. They're really tall, columnar. Odontoblasts are they tend to be more goblet shaped and they're just much more irregular. So if you can see the ameloblast, then this is the ameloblast layer. What would this layer be right on top of those little ameloblasts supporting them? Stratum intermedium. What's this? Right. Okay, this is important. You need to know our little ameloblast history. So we start out with little, almost just cuboidal cells that start differentiating, remember? And then when we start that secretory phase, what does it develop? So here is these two, 4A and B. These two guys are doing our secreting a matrix that is not calcified. A little bit of calcification in there, but primarily that's going to happen later, remember? So these guys, what's distinctive about them is what? Tome's process, which is right here, right? Okay, so then when we mature the enamel, we have the thickness of enamel. We're going to change the little ameloblast, and the little ameloblast is going to be a maturing one. So it has two jobs. Do you remember what the jobs are of this little maturing ameloblast? Secretion and absorption, exactly. So what we need to do, we have all kinds of proteins in this matrix, okay, like amelogenins and everything. So we need to take those out because we want to harden the enamel. We don't want to be soft and full of protein. We're going to take those out. So which ameloblast removes the proteins? Smooth, remember smooth removes. And the little ruffle guy puts on the little ruffle petticoat, and he is going to secrete the calcification, the hydroxyapatite crystals that's going to harden it, okay? So then we're going to do that, and then the next guy is, it has several names. One of its jobs is to be protective. We're also going to have some desmolytic enzymes and things, so that's going to help with the tooth erupting. But, so it has two jobs. Doesn't mean a question has to have both answers, right, Brett?
Sure.
I think the only question he missed on the first exam was one about this. He argued about it.
Thanks. I have more questions.
Okay, any questions on little ameloblastine?
Yeah, I do. So it's 6 stages. but-
No, ignore those, no, ignore those.
Five?
Yeah, there's really more like 5. This was, I should have removed that, 'cause ignore those numbers.
Oh, well.
It was for something else that I
was doing
took
one
this
of your
out of it.
quizzes and it says name the 6 phases or whatever.
Well,
And so I was under the
Morphogenic, differentiating, formative secretory matrix, and maybe I put,
But the same cell is doing that.
yeah.
It's not like one happens before the
No.
other.
First, we're gonna, make that, Naismith membrane, and, the reduced enamel epithelium and everything. Okay. Alrighty, so, what are these? Oops. Yes, I forgot I put a thing on these. So obviously you know what those are, because you can see them at the light microscopic level. So what's going on there?
Secretion.
Right. Alright, here just again, to remind you that, this area, this distal portion of the cell is the key to the little ameloblast and what he's doing. Okay, when we get to this stage of the collapsed enamel organ or the reduced enamel epithelium, do we still have 4 layers of the,
Nope.
we actually do.
Oh.
I love it when people are so sure of themselves.
Or you can just press her.
But it hardly looks like it is.
That's what I meant.
You don't as it gets down and we form the cervical loop and then hers. Then we do not. Then we only have the 2 layers. But even up here, we're gonna have, we still have some stratum intermedium and still have some stellae reticulum all the way to the little cervical loop. What's this area right here? Yep. You can always tell dentin because sometimes you get, remember the little circular?
Calcospheroids.
Yes. A lot of times in the way it's stained, it almost stains those calcospheroids, so you have these little circular areas. You can also sometimes see the fiber, the odontoblastic process here. And what layer is this? B?
Ameloblast.
Yep, and what layer is right above it? Stratum intermedium, and this would be stellae reticulum. Alright. Oops, did I forgot to fly that in, so that's what this is. I probably had too many glasses of wine that night too. I was drinking a lot of wine when I missed Duchess, Okay, so that's a reduced. What does the reduced enamel epithelium form as the tooth erupts? Yeah, 2 things.
What is it?
Those.
Is it A, hers, or is it epithelial diaphragm?
Sometimes it's considered epithelial diaphragm as it's heading inward,
Wait a minute. I thought epithelial diaphragm was only like at the base of the root.
At A?
It is, but, it's different diagrams say different things. I'm not gonna ask you that.
Oh, okay.
You would know if it were hers or epithelial diaphragm. It's usually that, it's as it's going inward to form the apical foramina, or foramen, depending on how many there are. Okay, what did I want for this one? Probably, can you ID these various things? Now, let's look at this, light, dark, light, dark, light, dark lines.
Hunter, strip, red.
If you had a multiple choice question, you'd probably get it. Now, these are different than these lines that are going across. This is a banding pattern due to polarized light. Remember? It's all about terminology, see? Yeah, somebody heard it. Yeah, Hunter Schrager bands, remember that one? Sort of. And then these lines, the growth lines are what? Yes. And these little things, what do you think these are probably? Probably spindles. So do you understand those bands of Stria versus Hunter Schrager?
Got them.
Everybody got that? Okay. Okay, let's look at three little things on this line. This goes from the outermost enamel through the entire surface. What is that?
Lamella line.
Correct. Lamella. What is this one right here and this one?
Tusk.
Yep. And this one?
Spindle.
Right. Oh, I forgot this one too. I didn't want to. Well, guess what this is? These, and remember, these are those teeny lines across the enamel, and they're indicative of the stria of Ratzius. And do you see these on adult teeth?
No. No.
How many adult teeth have you seen with little lines across? They just wear away, just like mamelons kind of wear away. You see them at first, you might see a little a pattern from the pericymata.
You might see on one patient with G-tube bed.
Oh, yeah.
What was
What
that?
did she say?
Like if somebody has been on a G-tube for, their whole life. You know,
What's a
I don't
GT?
know how many.
Thank you,
Well,
Patrick.
yeah.
I was wondering it too.
Okay, here again, we've got just our odontoblast. We got, what's this little guy called right here? Yeah, everything's called tomes, remember?
Tom's fiber.
Tomes. Yeah, usually we call this tomes fiber to differentiate from tomes process and the ameloblast. And it's actually, the little fiber goes all the way through the tubule. Hence, those little ameloblasts, those little odontoblasts are alive and well. And act as little receptors, so hence the pain. All right, what are these? It's kind of there's no good photograph of this, but this is like a silver stain that you can see these squiggly little fibers in the first dentin. Very first dentin that's formed is what kind of dentin? Yep. So what are these thingies?
What was
These
it?
squiggly lines
What was the
in
first
mantle dentin. What are they called? Name?
Bond course.
Yes, von Korff fibers. Von Korff. See, it's all terminology. I swear. All I have to do is read through those terminologies and see if you know every word. And if you do,
Gravy.
and then try to picture it in your head, if you're a visual learner. And what did those look like? Okay. And then again, this slide was just to show you, odontoblast, predentin, calicospheroids. Here's our little odontoblast process here. Remember they have, they connect. What is below, what runs, besides the little arteries and veins, what runs right below the odontoblast?
Some venous plexus or something.
Yep, and also
Some nerve stuff.
nerve stuff. What's the name? Back to terminology.
Rish valve.
Oh, Raschkoff.
Yeah,
something like that.
Raschkoff. Raschkoff. I think I may have another one. Okay, here again, we got,
It's in there.
a little odontoblasts, mineralization. Okay, where in the tooth is this? Yeah. Oh, shoot, I meant to. I didn't do a very good job on this, but this is your cellular cementum. Here's your tomes, granular layers. You can see, anytime you see the lines like this, you know it's dentin, right? And anytime you see cells, the only place you ever see cells really in the tooth, I mean, of course the pulp, but would be in the cementum. Which area of the tooth has cellular cementum? Down below near the apical foramen or up near the crown? Yes, you're correct. Down in the lower portion. Okay. That's okay, what are these dark lines called? Yes? Dentrax. Well, what is this called?
Sclerotic.
Pretend you don't see this. And that has minerals. Dentrax has what in it? Air. Sclerotic dentin has minerals. Do you remember the 4 zones of the pulp? Donoblast, cell-free layer, cell-rich, and then we have the core with the little blood vessels. That's not very hard. Oh, we already mentioned this little plexus is? Right. Oh, shoot. What are these? What is your clue here?
No nuclei.
Yes, and how do you know it's a denticle rather than a cementicle? Because they look like little, they really look the same. How do you tell the difference?
One would be impedial, one would be impulse.
Exactly. It's the location. So you can say this is either a denticle or a cementicle. So are we in the periodontal ligament or are we in the pulp?
I think we're in the periodontal ligament.
No?
Why? Because it's so
Because,
narrow and there's 2 dark things.
yeah, but this is not bone.
It's not bone.
These are odontoblasts. Now, if you look carefully, this material you can see is dentin.
Yeah.
So this is dentin. You can see kind of little lines. You can get a sense of calcospheroids. There's predentin and dentin. There's a layer of cells. So this is dentin. So where are the odontoblasts? They're in the pulp. So this has to be pulp. So if this is pulp, then it's then they're dentable. I think I've got some edibles on here too. Okay, this is just, again, we already reviewed this. What is here? This is where you can just, it kind of shows you how amorphous the dental follicle is. It's not really, it just kind of will be forming a little more definitive a little later. So you already know that. We already went through that. Okay, so name this light pink stuff. Hi there.
Is it metal?
Yes, yes. Terminology again. See? Dentin, cementum, cementoblast, the very first, just like the very first dentin is, you know, it makes the predentin and then it's calcified. We make cementoid and then it's calcified. We make osteoid and then it's calcified. to a bone. Okay, what is this? This area from here to here.
Looks like PDA.
Yep. What is this tissue J? Yep. This is right here is cementum, labeled C, and then dentin here. So you can see, actually, these are some little tiny epithelial rests. Hard to tell that, but that's what they're labeled. And then there's some interstitial spaces here. So can you tell that's PDL? The whole key is you got to be able to see bone and the tooth, you know, and between is periodontal ligament.
Interstitial spaces are for the vessels in there.
Yep. So, yeah, this one I did label all of these, I think. Yeah, the important ones I labeled. Okay, and these are, remember, we have Sharpie's fibers that are running from the periodontal ligament to the bone. Those are these little coarse fibers, and then we have intrinsic fibers. There are two different types of fibers that are running through this periodontal ligament. And so when you are doing a dental implant, will you have Sharpie's fibers formed? Who says no? I heard a no. Who says yes, you would? Why would you have Sharpie's fibers?
I just 50-50 chance. I figured I could.
You just want it to be different?
Yeah,
Okay.
I
Well,
look really good if I got it right.
the thing is, remember, what is the outside, you may not know this, what is the outside of that implant? You know, that, it's not cementum, right? Exactly, it is. It's usually titanium. So, do we have cementoblasts or fibroblasts to make the little fibers there? No, no. No, you wouldn't.
So you can't look at the ortho.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Okay, here, remember, here is our little classification. This is what kind of cementum right here? Acellular, this is called, obviously, cellular here. And this is where we're going to have anchorage, most of the anchorage fibers here. So that's acellular is the first coronal 2/3. Cellular is the apical. That's usually formed, that's going to help maintain occlusion, because we're going to have a little bit of cementum formed as we, as that tooth changes a very slight position. And you know, we get some attrition, and you want to maintain occlusal contact, so you're going to, this is where you're going to get a little more cementum built up. Oh, these are just to review. Remember, the acellular, afibrillar is that little bit of cementum that's on top of the enamel sometimes. And the acellular extrinsic fibrillar is the anchorage. And then we have some cellular intrinsic and cellular mixed. But these are the most important to know. Okay, so here is, can you tell, like in this, particularly in this slide on the right, what is this tissue? Can you tell that? This is what you look for. You look for bone. If you know there's bone out there, bone is a real distinctive tissue. So you can always tell. Here's a little, see that bone here? And you can tell that this is probably some dentin. This is cementum right here. This is the PDL. Here's an interstitial space up here. So this is obviously, you have, if it's in the PDL, you have two choices, right? What are your choices? Right, you have epithelial vessel Malaceae or cementable. Is this little epithelial cells? That, can you see nuclei and that they look like epithelial cells? No, they don't. So you know that these are cementables and not epithelial vessel cells. Okay, so can you tell that this, what this tissue is? Obviously, I keep forgetting to fly my things in. What is this tissue? What are these spaces? Right. What is this tissue? Right. Do you remember what these are, what these areas of the alveolar bone are? What's above the line and below the line? Right, and basal bone. Do I have them listed? Yes. Cortical plates, lamina dura, trabecular bone in here.
So it's alveolar process above the line?
Yeah. And then this is called basal bone. I think that's all for that one. I don't know what I wanted for this. Oh.
What's the yellow?
Put maybe the different stages of tooth eruption.
Or the types of movement, like one is,
This one would be,
body eruption, and then the other one is.
pre-eruptive tooth movements are all before, as it erupts into the mouth. Pre-eruptive, eruptive, post-eruptive movements.
Oh my God.
What is, I think I have this in another slide. What's this area called here? Yes, bony crypt. What is this? Yeah, it looks like a little ladder, bony ladder, right at the apex. Bone ladder in fundus. Remember the 4 theories of eruption? There's 4. Which is which do most people like? Yeah, right. So there's the root formation, but does a tooth erupt if we don't have a root? Yes, it does. So there goes that theory, right? The hydrostatic pressure theory, and the bone remodeling theory, and the periodontal. Okay. These movements continue throughout the life of the tooth. What are these type of movements? General. Just right, just post-eruptive. So they're gonna, after everything's all done, and you're gonna have some post-eruptive movements. So, do you remember what these are?
Neonatal.
Yes, neonatal, and one is a natal tooth, one is a neonatal tooth. Which is which? Which is present at birth? And which is present, just comes about the first 6 months? Okay, what is this?
I have a question. Can you go back to the next slide? So, which one is which?
This is natal, and this is neonatal.
How do you tell the difference?
Well, you would tell the difference if the baby was born with a tooth. If a baby was born with a tooth. Or if it, then, you're usually not gonna see a tooth, in the first month of life. And if they do, then it's a, natal tooth. So we have, Okay, what are these little guys? So, any cell that you see that's really big, multinucleated, what kind of cell is it?